whatever you wind up doing is exactly what you should be doing.
And I have not behaved one single day of my life. Not one day of my life have I behaved, and I am fine.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people.
Whose car are we gonna take?
Happy Cinco de Mayo, Medorables. This is the Nikki Medoro Show, live on YouTube. I am so happy to be back. I missed you guys yesterday, but I was at this amazing event, and I have some pictures, a couple of pictures to show you in just a moment. But I was really honored to find out about a program that's been right under my nose. I've lived in San Jose my whole entire life, and this program, it's a nonprofit called Recovery Cafe San Jose. It's amazing what these people do. So I'll tell you guys about that in just a moment, but that's where I was yesterday. It's Friday and Cinco de Mayo. So you guys know that I have to have something Mexican food today. Even though we know it's not Mexican Independence Day or Mexico's birthday, Cinco de Mayo commemorates the triumph of the Mexican army at the Battle of Puebla on May 5th, 1862. So that's it. It's bigger in the United States than it is in Puebla in Mexico. Swear to God. I think I was reading an article, Cinco de Mayo, the biggest celebration is in Los Angeles. Los Angeles has the biggest, at least according to this article I read, Cinco de Mayo celebration. So guys, let me know in the comments what you guys are doing today, what you are eating. My food, I have my phone right here because I'm keeping, my food is heading towards me. Gladys is approaching with my order. So I don't want it to be cold, but we might have to just leave it on the porch until Kim McAllister gets back because I don't want to just abandon you guys. So we have a great show coming up. Of course, we'll talk about Cinco de Mayo. It's not only Cinco de Mayo. Today is also International Digital Wellness Day. And then there's also a lunar eclipse that we will not see. It's a full moon tonight, but the lunar eclipse is in Scorpio. I am a Scorpio, so this totally piqued my interest. So we'll be talking about that and how this lunar eclipse is causing a few cosmic shakeups. And when Kim gets here, I know her birthday's coming up, but I don't know what her sign is off the top of my head. So I'll tell you guys what it means depending on your zodiac sign. So, my food is here. I got a ring notification. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm eating today. I am having a quesadilla. Okay, it's like a quesadilla with birria meat in it. I am so excited. I had recorded a segment with Kim yesterday, and I was mentioning it. It's a birria taco, though, from this place called Con Sabor a Mexico. And they, on Instagram, I saw this video of I keep it in my hands like this, of a birria taco that was this big. And I'm not exaggerating. Do I have the video? Let me see if I could show it to you guys. Because, oh my God, it was huge. I don't have it ready. But it was this big. And I'm like, maybe if I shared it with somebody. So I didn't get all that. I just got a little quesadilla, which is a quesadilla and birria meat. And then I also got horchata. I love horchata. It's so bad for you because there's so much sugar and it's so caloric. But I'm like, screw it. I don't drink anymore during the week. I gave that up. And so I can have some extra calories today. But before we get to any of that digital wellness, we'll be talking about AI. Have you guys seen this AI created beer commercial? It's a total joke about AI, but it's creepy as hell. And then also there's this scam where they're using AI to clone your voice. And once they clone your voice, they can have it say anything they want it to. But there is a way to protect yourself. And the way to protect yourself is something you should be doing already. So we'll talk about that. What else do I have coming up? Oh, obviously the Warriors won. That was amazing. Totally stoked about that because the first game where they lost to the Lakers, my power went out right at halftime. and then came right back on at the end of the game. It was totally ridiculous. But yeah, so we watched some of the game last night. So go Warriors. We'll have some airline news. Did you see the unwanted passengers that was on this Delta flight on Wednesday? So we'll show some pictures from that. And then, look, people aren't paid enough money. Okay. Like, most of the time, I mean, there's obviously people making a ton of money, but a lot of people don't get paid enough. But that does not mean that we just put tip jars everywhere, because there's a new place that may get tip jars. It's starting with one location, but I could see this spreading. And I mean, is this just going too far? So we'll have that conversation in the second part of the show. And then, of course, it's Friday. So Tim Sika will be joining us to talk all about movies. But before that, please click the thumbs up button. It's right there. Smash it. Tap it. Massage it. I don't care what you do with the thumbs up button, but just click it and click it once. YouTube loves it. I love it. I really appreciate it. And it's something free you can do each and every show to show your support of the show. Another thing you can do is donate to our super chat. And we actually, RJ started us off with a $20 donation to our super chat. It's finally effing Friday. Yes, RJ, you took the word right out of my mouth. It is. And I thank you, RJ, so very much for the donation. I appreciate it. So just look for the $ in the live chat. Also in the live chat, I have pinned the link for you to call. I'm using that in quotes, but call into the show. So you can click the link. You'll go in our virtual green room, and then I'll bring you on. All I need is a name. And I would, you could do it during the Friday food segment. You could do it during any segment you want to. But I'd love to talk to some of you guys, even if you don't want to show your face on camera, although that would be awesome. I know, who was it yesterday? Eric, I think you were on with Kim, if you're watching already. And I thought that was amazing. And so if you guys want to talk to me, just click the link right there and you could join the show anytime. Wes, thank you for the $20. Got to support the things that make me happy. Oh, that's really sweet. That is a really sweet message. Thank you, Wes. I really do appreciate that. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys supporting the show in that way. But the number one, the top way, the best way of supporting us, and Google doesn't really get a piece of the pie, as they say. Sorry, Google. Sorry, YouTube. Is to become a Medorable, which is what I call my monthly Patreon subscribers. So right there on the screen is our show's website, thenikkimedoroshow.com. TheNikkiMedoroShow.com is our Patreon link. Our PayPal links are there. There's a link to our merch store where you can get some of the stuff behind me. But when you become a monthly Patreon subscriber, that just gives us some consistent revenue to continue doing this show. As you guys know, as most of you know, I do have a second job in San Francisco. I thank everybody that has heard me on the radio station, the news radio station in San Francisco. I'm training. I did my first I was on air and working the board, which is something new for me at this point in my career. I did it when I first started in radio, working my own board, which is where you bring up people and sound and everything like that. It went 90% okay and 10%, oh my God, this is just going down in flames. But I'm learning. And so I'll be working there part-time and I'll be doing this. And so we really just want to continue to do both. And that requires us making enough money to do so. And so if you can donate to the Patreon, I would really, really appreciate it, because we're completely crowdfunded. The only way we make revenue is because you guys are so generous. And then again, there's my email along with the PayPal email, thenikkimedoroshow@gmail.com, thenikkimedoroshow@gmail.com. And of course, our merch shop is thenikkimedoroshop.com, thenikkimedoroshop.com. All right. Cinco de Mayo. She's not here yet, and I feel like my food is on the corner. Okay, so I went to Con Sabor a Mexico. I got the quesadilla taco. It's probably waiting on my porch. When Kim gets here, I'm going to go grab it. If you live in my neck of the woods, like I was saying, how LA has the biggest Cinco de Mayo celebration, but in San Jose, starting at like 7:00 tonight and in the overnight hours, you can't get off the freeway to go to downtown. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm not planning on going anywhere. If I go anywhere, I'm walking there. There's like bars nearby, and I'm volunteering at my kid's school today. But yeah, if you live in San Jose, there's a huge celebration and march. So basically, highway closures off 101 and 280 on all the down, and 87, I think too. Yeah, and 87. They're not letting you off the freeway. I really hope that it goes well tonight and this weekend. I don't understand people that just like to just raise a ruckus. Just let it be a nice celebration for Mexico winning in the Battle of Puebla over the French. We don't need to have death and destruction, do we? Let's keep it all friendly. Calvin is asking, does the link work on phones and the computer? I don't see why not. But let me bring in the expert because you guys have spoken to her by using this link. And that, of course, is my friend, Kim McAllister.
Hi, guys.
Hello, friend. So we have a question from Calvin about joining the show using the link. I pinned it at the top of the comments on YouTube.
Okay.
Calvin wants to know if it works on phones and the computer. I don't see why not.
It will. And the only thing we've really discovered, and I think we figured this out at the beginning when you and I started using it, StreamYard, is that you can't have YouTube open at the same time you have StreamYard open, because then you'll have double sound and there's going to be a weird echo.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they tell you when you call into a radio station to turn the radio down before you.
Yeah.
Same thing. So you have to click pause on YouTube or turn your YouTube sound all the way off before you do it. But it should work from any device. And I'll post it right here in the chat. So you guys can get it again. We want to talk to you. We love this conversation, and getting to know you has really been fun. So there you have it. There's the link.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah. So it's there. I pinned it at the top, but I don't know if you guys see it. So let's just we'll get that done. Now, Kim, my food is waiting for me. You don't have anything to eat for Friday food, do you?
Well, my husband bought pastries today.
Ooh.
I'll tell you. There's a bunch of them in here. There's an almond croissant.
Is it from that one place you were talking about?
Croissant. It isn't.
Okay.
It's from another place, and I forgot the name of it, but I'll come up with the name of it.
No shout out for that. They just get the pastries, but no shout out.
And I've been looking at it, but I can't eat it because I've been talking the whole time. But
we'll do it during our Friday food segment, so both of us can be chewing at the same time.
Doesn't that look delicious?
Oh my god, that looks hella good. Yeah, exactly. Severin Shot's like, oh my god, give me that. Yes, indeed. Oh, we have a friend. We have a friend that's waiting in the wings.
So excited.
Okay, so let's bring on. Are you ready? Let's bring on Grady. Hi, Grady.
What up?
Yeah, I wanted to do it real quick just so you guys know it works.
Yeah.
Grady, that really helps. Who is? That's your bird.
This is how I roll.
Is that an African gray?
Awesome. Thank you so much. Every day you bring up my day.
Oh, I love it. What kind of bird is that, though?
It's a blue-fronted Amazon. Her name is Tukalu, and I rescued her 13 years ago.
Oh, I love that.
So sweet.
Oh, great. You are awesome. Also, are you doing anything special for Cinco de Mayo? Are you going out partying or anything today?
No. I'm all good.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining the show.
Paquito Tequila.
Oh, there you go.
Great.
Thank you guys, you ladies.
Your comments are always so positive. You're always such a positive presence in the chat, and I love having you there. It's really good to see you in person, dude.
Thanks, Grady.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Have a great day.
You too. See how easy it was for Grady to hop on real quick. I love that. I love it. So that's what you guys can do. It works. Grady was our big old tester for us. So that's awesome. All right. You know what else is today?
That's so much fun.
Today is also International Digital Wellness Day.
What does that mean?
So it's not like the National Day of Unplugging. But it's kind of like that. It's to practice a pause on technology. But did you know that there is a college that is the first to be certified digitally well? And that's Virginia Tech University. I have a video. I have a video I'm going to share with you right now. Now I'm going to say this before I've been really, really nice. It's been nice because I went to the library and I've been really good about getting the hell off my phone lately. So,
Really?
I mean, I've also been kind of busy, so I can't be on it as much. Do you ever check like how much time your screen time on your phone?
I don't even want to know.
Well, so mine's always skewed because I watch the news on my phone. I binge watch shows on my phone. I don't count. I guess I should. Because remember when it used to be just TV time was screen time, and now it's like everything screen time. I don't count binge watching TV shows on my phone as phone use. I just count that as kind of TV time. So I try to take that off. I count it like social media.
All screen time. It all counts.
I know it counts, but I feel like and maybe this is just me rationalizing in my head, when I talk about the downsides of being on the phone so much, I think social media, being on Facebook or Instagram or whatever all the time. Now it just seems like watching TV, at least it's more social than anything else. At least other people could possibly be watching it with me. But yeah, once I saw my screen time, I was like, oh my God, I need to do something about that. So
Hold on.
here,
School's calling. I'll be right back.
okay, go ahead. I have a video to show anyway. So Virginia Tech again has become the first digitally well university. And here's a little video that they made about that.
Whenever I don't want to study anymore, I'll like go on Instagram or like Snapchat and just be on there for hours.
My biggest challenge with technology is probably procrastination.
Technology overload. That's what about 3/4 of students blamed for their lack of sleep, focus, and productivity in a recent college health assessment. And it's not a new or original problem, according to Assistant Director of Hokie Wellness, Lori Fritsch, which is why she started tackling this issue on Virginia Tech's campus back in 2017.
I created a program called Unwind Offline. And last year, post-pandemic, I had actually been thinking about this pre-COVID, but I knew that digital well-being was something that needed to be elevated on campus, on all college campuses.
In partnership with digital wellness expert Christina Crook, JOMO, the Joy of Missing Out, was created on campus.
Is a multi-year digital well-being campaign to improve students' well-being. We started with 2 4-week pilots where students were challenged to change their phone habits.
JOMO signs were put up around campus teaching students the purpose of digital wellness, including cell phone boxes where students were able to leave their phones while having lunch, studying, or hanging out with friends. Crook explains 73.8% of participating students reported a behavior change.
I was finding better ways to, stay off my phone. It helped me wane off of some social media apps a little bit easier while I was in it.
Yeah.
And it overall just, I feel like, has improved my life.
Digital Wellness Day is on May 5th. Crook and Fritsch say there will be a live webinar for people interested in learning more.
Myself. So yeah, I mean, JOMO, the joy of missing out. It can be hard nowadays to feel like I have to be on social media so that I can be part of this mom's group, or my kids have to be part of social media so they know what's going on. And Kim, because you have a teenage daughter. Yeah. You remember when we were young, we didn't know if our friends were hanging out without us. If we were home all weekend doing nothing but watching TV or doing something else, and all of our friends were hanging out, we didn't know about it unless they told us the next week at school. But if they were just hanging out casually, it wasn't a big deal. Now, God forbid anybody walks to Starbucks with a friend and you weren't invited, and it's this shunning that's happening, and it's ridiculous. And so,
well, you're left out. And it's funny because as a grown-up, I may have been left out of a mom's weekend or something, right? Like maybe they only took 4 people or whatever, and I wasn't included in the group. And I have this feeling like, oh, I wonder why they didn't ask me or whatever.
Right.
And I'm old. Now imagine if you're 13.
Exactly.
I can't even. Like, I have the capability to, logically process that and deal with it and not get my nose twisted out of place over it. But you're 13 years old. Think of the drama this creates.
Exactly. And I've tried to tell myself, because now I'm in this transition where I have a great moms group, but our daughters are going to high school and they're going to be part of different groups, and it's not going to be the same. And on one hand, it makes me sad because I love these women, but I also know in the back of my mind, it's going to take more of an effort to hang out with them. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you're going to have to engage, likely digitally. But I would say like through text message or something like that. But I'm also frustrated with how much technology is in the school. Somebody was posting on Facebook the other day, Kim, and you'll know this, that this kid's math grade went down, and the parents were like, why? What's going on? Aren't you paying attention in math? And he's like, most of the time I'm just watching X, Y, and Z on my Chromebook. Because they're not paying attention, because there's their own personal computer in front of them. My daughter, especially, my son also, paper, pencil, pen, reading, book, like not computer. But it seems nowadays you can't get away from screens at school, at home, anywhere.
So there are some great reasons to have screens open in class. There's some programs that for math that are amazing, like this program Reflex, where especially for younger grades, it increases your competency and your quickness with
Mhm.
addition, subtraction, division,
Oh.
multiplication. It makes you really quick. And the kids have used that, and test scores have increased bigly. But uh, I agree. You can't just have it open while the teacher's talking. You need to really focus and pay attention.
Yeah.
So I think screens have their place in the classroom. We live in a society now where kids need to know how to use that stuff. And
Yeah.
there are tools that can actually help. I would argue, though, you were talking about social media, and it's the moments where I realize that I'm scrolling, scrolling, scrolling on Facebook, and realize something pops into my head where I'm like, I don't care about what I'm looking at right now. Like, I don't
Mhm.
care what this person ate last night. I don't
Yep.
care what's happening. Why have I gone down
Why am
this
I spending
rabbit
so much
hole?
time? Yes.
And because they're feeding me the stuff, and the more I, click, the more they're like, "Oh, she likes this," or whatever. So it's those moments where I'm like, okay, now you've got to put down the phone. When it becomes you're just doing it to do it and it's not
Mhm.
useful to you in any way, then you got to stop.
Exactly. And look what Natalie wrote. My son missed out on senior sunrise day and some other senior events because student leadership only posted some events on Instagram and he doesn't
Oh,
do Instagram by choice. See,
yeah,
that's some BS right there. I would be pissed off
yeah.
because it's like you should not have to engage with people electronically to be included in things like and that I would find to be very important, like a senior sunrise day or something like that. Now, I don't know, Natalie, was there any other way they could have found out? Was it in because sometimes parents are sent the school, I don't know, bulletin or whatever through email or whatever. But yeah, it's tough. So it's Digital Wellness Day. Re-examine how you use technology. But I agree with you, Kim. I find myself purposely putting the phone down and not being on something like Facebook, which can be a total time suck for me,
Hmm.
and picking up. I'm reading this book. I'm glad my mom is dead.
Oh.
By it's a biography of Jeanette McCready. You might know her from iCarly and Sam and Kate, which Ariana Grande. It's a Nickelodeon show. I don't know if you ever
Okay.
watched it. My daughter watched it. That's the only reason I know.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a biography, but it's all about her mom pushing her to become a child star and everything
Oh,
like that. And like was really kind of, obviously emotionally
yeah.
abusive to this young lady. Now she's an adult,
A
but it's
lot of
really
child
interesting.
stars tell the same story,
Yeah,
right?
don't
Yeah.
make your kid a child star. It's never going to end well. I mean, it's very rare that it ends
We
well.
we had a coworker at Station X who was a child star. She
Oh,
Claudia
oh, I know. I
Lamb.
didn't know her. I didn't know her.
Oh, okay. So she was a producer at Station X, and she was a child star. She was in, oh my gosh, it's an old show from the 60s or 70s.
Okay.
And she was tells the story that it's the same story where her parents pushed her into it
Mhm.
and then basically took all the money that she made and didn't
That's
put
how
it
it
aside from
happens.
her, didn't do anything from all that, all that work that she did. And she tells some really interesting stories, but I think it kind of emotionally damaged her
Mhm.
from doing
I
that.
can imagine.
She was the daughter on Mary Hartman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I know the show. I don't know the characters that well.
Yeah.
But yeah, as someone who I danced a lot, and so dancing and acting, I saw a lot of my dance friends kind of go into this. It was never something that I ever wanted to do. But and then there's a whole argument about did the parents steal the money or should they be paid for their time, right? I mean, are they working as well? I don't think so. But anyways, I'm reading that book. The reason I brought up the book is not to talk about child stars,
Yeah.
but to talk about the fact that when I go to the library and I get a book, I become like obviously obsessed with just reading the book and it gets me off the damn phone. We got to go back to tactile things to spend our time. There's a place for phones and TV and all that kind of stuff, but you got to balance it. You don't want to be addicted to it or anything like that. Okay. Oh, I want to talk a little bit about where I was yesterday, Kim, because It was a really, really cool event. I want to say, and I'm trying to look, hold on, let me see in the
I
comments.
totally screwed up the show yesterday.
I went back and watched. It was not that big of a
The
deal.
video that we ran we're supposed to run at the beginning, it ran at the end.
Okay. Our community cares about us, Kim McAllister.
Very
You
understanding.
don't
Yes.
need to be that hard on yourself. Okay. So yesterday, we pre-recorded yesterday because I was emceeing an event, and it was the greatest event. Kim, I've lived in San Jose my whole life, except for the handful of years I was in Sacramento. I have never heard of this program called Recovery Cafe. It is so freaking awesome. So basically what it is. Okay, so let's just say you have a drug addiction, right? And you're trying to get clean, whether you're forced to within like the jail or the prison system, or you're in some sort of AA program or what have you. What is one of the hardest things to do is to go back to your life and have people to hang out with socially that aren't part of that lifestyle anymore. And it could be hard to find those people. Well, there's this cafe called Recovery Cafe where they're free of charge. They give you breakfast. They give you lunch. There are free programs. They go on, I guess I'd call them field trips. They've gone to Sharks games. And it's all these people that are recovering either from drug addiction, getting help for mental illness, or what have you. It's so awesome. And so the reason why I emceed this event is a woman who used to work at my high school is the executive director. I have a picture, actually. Let me bring up the picture also. You have that going as well. But here she is. So that's her.
Oh, nice.
Kathy, she loved our show on KGO, Kim. She's like, you were my morning. And it was really, really nice. She reached out to me and was like, hey, can you MC their fundraising event, which was in downtown Campbell? And I was like, sure. I would love to. I love to do stuff like that. So I go, they sit me down at my table. And it's like right by the stage, obviously, because I got to go hop up and talk and everything. And I sit down first next to this guy, Daniel. And so we're chit-chatting, and I find out that he is one of the people that's going to be sharing his story. And then this other guy, Adrian, sits down next to him, and they know each other because they both go to the cafe, and Adrian's the other speaker. These guys are great. Here's a picture of them.
Oh, cool.
So Adrian's on the far right, and Daniel's in the middle. And Adrian's mom listens to the show all the time. Her name's Pam. Hi, Pam. I told him I was like, I'm like, one, is it okay to take a picture? And two, I'll give you a shout out. So there they are. Thank you, Pam, for listening. He sits down, Kim, and he's so funny. He sits down. He's like, my mom loves you. like that's the first thing out of his mouth. And so I was like, well, tell her I say hi and thanks for listening to the show. He was both of these guys. I mean, giving their story amazingly honest and moving. I was also sitting next to the wife of David Cortese, state senator, who's also, been huge down here in the South Bay as well. And she actually received one of the honors there. Oh, I don't have the picture of it. This was the choir that was amazing. They're the Recovery Cafe choir, and they were singing a bunch of songs. It was just such a great event. It just was. It was so moving. And again, it's one of these programs I had no idea about. One, because, I don't have a drug addiction or a mental illness. And so I wasn't looking for something like this, but it's something that can definitely help people that I know in my life that could probably use something like this. And so again, it's called Recovery Cafe. They're always looking for donations. They're always looking for volunteers. And again, it's this social aspect. And Daniel, he was telling me before he went up to speak, he's like, I had no idea what I was going to do with my life. My family was in this, kind of the drug lifestyle, obviously friends. When that's your whole circle, like, who do you hang out with? Yeah. So again, I loved it. It's where I was yesterday. Yeah, Lori, that cafe sounds awesome. At 17, I had to move from Burlingame to San Francisco to get out of the group of quote unquote friends I had that were not helping get me on a better path. Exactly. Yep. And a lot of these people were sharing their stories about how they started as a member of the cafe, started volunteering. And one woman, she got a job there, a paid position there. So I just want to give a shout out. It was such a great day.
I'm glad you did it.
It was so
Yeah.
awesome. And I'm definitely glad I did that. Okay.
Yeah.
I have food waiting for me on my porch. So
I guess I should do some news, huh? What do you think?
Yeah, let's do some news real
Not really
quickly.
prepared.
Okay. Well,
It's okay. I'll figure
I'll
something
tease.
out.
I can tease.
You
I
know
can
me.
tease. I can tease. Don't worry about it. So coming up, the Warriors were great. I had some pictures of people that were there. Oh, you know what else I want to do? Is this mean?
It's a good conversation when I'm so involved in the conversation that I forgot about news.
Do your news writing, because I'm going to show this video real quickly. It's gone viral, I guess, and I think I'm being really mean and harsh, and I don't know. I feel like if it was me, I would be moving more quickly. And I know that maybe she was just kind of frozen in time or she was injured. But have you guys seen this video of the stroller that was going into traffic? Here we go. Watch this video.
I noticed the stroller was going towards traffic. I instinctively ran towards the stroller and
oh God,
into the traffic, and there was a child inside the stroller. I heard a lady screaming while I was on my way to the stroller, and I seen her. She had fallen down twice, and she couldn't get up. And so I was just thankful I was at the right place at the right time. I noticed.
Okay, that guy is a hero.
Hero.
But okay, is it me? I'm going to be mean. I'm going to be mean.
What was she doing?
Thank you. Watch. Okay, so I'm going to show this video again. There she is. She notices, but like, one, her pants, there's something wrong with her pants. Okay, so maybe that was hampering her, but I don't feel like she's moving fast enough. So watch it again.
Was she having a medical emergency?
No, she just fell. There she is.
Ran towards the
But like,
stroller.
what the hell? Did you want your kid to die?
Did she break a knee?
The lady,
like why are her legs not able to hold her?
Exactly. I'm so frustrated with this video.
Oh my
God. I feel awful.
I was just thankful I was at the right place at the right time.
Because this guy is a hero.
Was going towards traffic. I instinctively ran
I
towards
don't know,
the
man.
stroller.
Like, I feel, and this is the worst part of me, and this is because we're in news, and I hate this about myself that I go here, but part of me was, did she want the stroller to go and make it look like an accident?
Oh, I know. That's
awful for me to say.
No, because the thought ran through my head too.
Like, no, it's like that,
she
you
looks
know.
up twice. Like, if you can't, I mean, I understand the panic and maybe the scramble. You keep falling in the scramble, but I mean, there's a mom thing that happens where you move heaven and earth to get that stroller. Like, you are running places you would never normally be able to run.
I mean, a lot of you guys
that has never run in their life is running a mile to keep up with that thing. So
they're saying it was a grandma. It was grandma. But still, like, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know how old the woman was, so maybe this is really mean. I'm like, move, woman. Like, your stroller is going into traffic. So I'm being mean. Okay. And mea culpa if it's grandma and she can't move and she really seriously injured herself. I apologize. But the first time I saw this video, I was like, she's not getting up. Like, she's not getting up. So I was just really, it's awful. Let's just watch it. I just can't.
I noticed the stroller was going towards traffic.
I don't know, man. This right here, I just was like, her pants are falling off. So I don't know.
Child inside the stroller.
But this, I don't know.
She had knee replacement surgery. Like, maybe she has a physical ailment that prevented her from, I mean, for old people, it can be hard to get up when you're from down on your knees. Or maybe she really hurt herself during the fall.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
all of you guys are way nicer than I am. And I'm not vilifying the woman. I just am saying, shoot, man, move. But like, because the worst in my mind is that a stroller goes into traffic, and then that's just awful.
Oh,
it's
God.
just awful,
Wouldn't that have been a nightmare?
Yeah, it was grandma. Hold on. Wes says, if it was grandma, could explain it. It's been a long time since she dealt with strollers. Yeah. She probably hurt herself. I bet she probably hurt herself. And that's okay, fine. I'm a terrible, no good, very bad person. So there we go.
Nikki's like, move it,
Well,
Grandma.
well, I was yelling at my screen when I saw this video this morning. I'm like, get the hell up. Although I didn't say hell, I was cussing at my phone. I was like, get up. And then when she fell the second time, I'm like, oh, come on. And I was so angry about it. So I wanted to kind of crowdsource whether or not I'm a complete bitch or not. And obviously, apparently I'm a bitch. So whatever.
Yeah, but you're a funny bee. We like that. We'll take it.
Whatever. Okay.
I have a sign on my wall that says, remember, if you can't say anything nice, say something funny.
Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah. Or just, be self-deprecating. There you go. All right, Mindy. Mindy's like, okay, just wait until you're 70 and a grandma. Okay. I'm going to say this and it's going to be another mean thing, Mindy, but my mom is 74 and there's no effing way that I don't know. Maybe she would. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn. I don't know, but move. It's the baby going into the street. I don't know. I'm mean. So I'm just going to turn the page, get my quesadilla that's sitting on my porch getting cold. We'll do a Friday food segment. I'm
ready.
And somebody in the comments had asked if I had tried the Entenmann's recipe. Go back to, what was it, last Friday when I totally messed up my Entenmann's recipe. I forgot to add the cheese, whatever. I did try one recipe. It wasn't the right recipe. It is still on my list to do the right one. We haven't gotten there yet. But I do have a Friday.
Someone was really upset that you used in the after hours trading. They wrote in the comment section, I can't believe you used a knife to cut into that nice pan.
What pan was I using? No,
it was a
new pan.
And then you used a knife, and they were all upset that you weren't using the right tools.
Dude, I didn't have the right tools to do the whole entire friggin' recipe. I didn't have the freaking beaters. I mean, we could laundry list all of the things I did wrong on that recipe. You want to add the knife to it? Fine. Knock yourself out. I totally messed up that whole entire thing. The knife is literally at the bottom of the freaking list, but whatever. That's fine. Okay. Entenmann's, though, is the one that makes the coffee cake that I like, and they're in the news with something quite delicious. Also, while we eat, I wanted to get to the fact that there's a lunar eclipse happening. We're not going to be able to see it in North America, but it's supposed to be messing with all of our, zodiac astrology type thing, if you believe in that. So I'm going to list for you. You figure out, your zodiac signs, obviously, what it's going to mean for you, because apparently this lunar eclipse is supposed to cause some sort of shakeups. It's going to stir an exciting but tempestuous period. It's going to push us to accept our true selves. So I'm going to laundry list. I'll go down the list of all of the astrology or zodiac signs to tell you, if you believe in this sort of thing, what it's going to mean for you. Also, we're going to talk about AI. There's an AI beer commercial out that's absolutely ridiculous. Also, there's a warning about how AI is being used to clone your voice. And there's something simple you can do to protect yourself. And you should already have this. You should already have it in your head right now. All right, that's all coming up after Kim's news.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Medoro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
Let's start with President Biden, because he is praising the latest jobs report today as another positive sign for the economy. He attributes the strong jobs report to billions of dollars of private sector investment. The president also slamming Republicans for demanding major budget cuts in exchange for raising the debt limit. As reported earlier, Dr. Rochelle Walensky is stepping down as the head of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. That happens in June. The White House announcing her planned departure, noting Walensky played a key role in its response to the COVID pandemic, as she has been in that position since the start of the Biden administration. The head of a Russian mercenary group, change to my map here, The head of a Russian mercenary group leading the assault in eastern Ukraine is now pulling out of what's so-called bloody battle for Bakhmut. The leader of the Wagner group accused the Kremlin of not supplying enough ammunition. In a video message, he said his troops will exit Bakhmut May 10th and hand over the offensive to Russian army forces. And today there were a couple stories saying, according to U.S. intelligence, that Russian President Vladimir Putin is kind of pulling back and will only be maintaining the area that he's captured in Ukraine, but maybe not pushing forward. So it could be that his offensive is coming to a close. Not sure about that, and we have to look into it a little bit more. I don't know if you've heard this story. Um, boy, this has been something at UC Davis. There have been several stabbings and now an arrest. A 21-year-old former UC Davis student is being charged with murder in connection with a series of stabbings near the campus in Davis. The Yolo County District Attorney announcing the charges against Carlos Dominguez. The charges relate to recent stabbings where 2 people died, a college senior and a homeless man, and a third was critically injured. A special circumstance for multiple murders has been alleged, which makes the case eligible for either life without the possibility of parole or the death penalty, which we don't really do in California. The decision regarding whether to seek the death penalty will be made at a later date. Apparently, UC Davis, they call it separating from the student. So I guess they may have kicked him out, or he dropped out, or something happened between him and the university, allegedly, and his anger prompted him to attack. The next story is so disturbing, but I tell you this story. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the picture regarding the next story. My apologies for messing that up. But I tell you the story because I think it's really important that we know this is happening in our own backyard. It is despicable, incomprehensible, and that is how the Monterey County Undersheriff is describing this case of a girl sold for $12,000 and then raped. Yes, here in the Bay Area. This girl was found with a 20-year-old Salinas man who police say actually bought the victim from a man in Castroville. That suspect is accused of injuring a student in the North Monterey County School District, which is what started this investigation. Both men have been arrested. So, yeah, really disturbing story. People are being bought and sold. This stuff happens. It happens here. So, something to be aware of. I want to talk to you a little bit about this eternal flame. It will be burning at St. Francis Hospital in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The hospital has been granted a waiver to continue using this flame after Oklahoma's 2 U.S. senators and 5 U.S. representatives got involved, calling it a matter of religious freedom. The Biden administration was threatening to revoke the hospital's accreditation, calling the lit candle a fire hazard. But nope, they get their eternal flame keeps on a burning. And of course, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is off to a franchise best start at the box office. The final film in James Gunn's trilogy netted $17.5 million, and that was just from Thursday previews. It's expected to make between $110 and $120 million this weekend. And we've been following this story, so I wanted to follow up on it. Oregon, the state of Oregon, is issuing the state's first license for a psychedelic service center. It'll be used to dispense what is commonly called magic mushrooms to treat a variety of mental health issues. Clinic workers must be with the client to monitor the effects of mushrooms. Oregonians recently approving a bill allowing magic mushroom therapy in treatments in the state. And so now we have the very first psychedelic service center in Oregon. I'm Kim McAllister on the Nikki Medoro Show.
Thank you, Kim. I appreciate it. All right. Wes says he's moving there. Magic mushrooms, man. I was just watching. I'm trying to catch up on Ted Lasso, and there was an episode. You don't watch Ted Lasso, do you, Kim?
No, I don't have Apple TV.
Yeah, so it's such a cute show. I've been telling you. Hopefully they'll release it on something else so other people can watch it. But there was a episode where supposedly he thought he was taking magic mushrooms, but then it came out that it was bunk. I don't know, but it was really cute. Okay, I have my food here. It's time for the Friday food segment. Have you ever had horchata? Have you ever had horchata?
No.
It's like it's really good. It's so bad for you though.
What is it? Like a coconut drink?
It's actually like a cinnamon,
Oh.
cinnamony kind of Mexican drink.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really sweet. This is good. It's a little too much cinnamon for me, if I'm being honest. So the restaurant that I went to, it's actually not a restaurant, it's a food truck. And this was the food truck I was telling you about that had the birria tacos that were this big, not exaggerating, this big. They used the gigantic tortillas and they made it. I did not get that. I got the quesabirria, which is like a quesadilla.
Can you show us what it looks like on the inside, kind of the side view?
So
okay, what's in there? Chicken, maybe?
It's birria. It's goat.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know that was the word for goat. All right.
Am I right about that, Sweetness?
It could be beef or goat.
It could be beef or goat. My husband just got home.
Okay.
So.
I like how you called him Sweetness. That was nice. That was a loving household right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Come here for a second. You taste this for me. I don't know if he's going to come on camera. You think this is beef or goat? He's going to eat like half of it, though.
As one does. You shove it in
You're
your mouth.
not getting it back. I mean, you're not going to give it back to me. You think it's beef?
You have other pieces. Just give him that one. Okay, beef. Yeah.
Gosh, F that. This is mine.
I don't know what goat
beef.
looks like, so, but okay. Spicy, tasty, what?
No, it's not spicy, but it does exactly. So it comes with this sauce. So let's see if it's spicy. And it also comes. So this was really reasonable. It's a mini quesadilla, and it has two pieces of this size, of the triangle size, and then chips, lime, and radishes, and then the spicy sauce. And it was like $8, which isn't bad. I think this is kind of like just a salsa, but let me taste. Let me see.
No on the sauce?
It's got a nice little kick to it.
Okay.
Actually, I would like a little creamier sauce. You know, like those creamy type of salsas or whatever. It's not bad. It is spicy. I like it a lot.
Will you be going back for the what's it called?
The big one?
Yeah.
The big birria taco?
Yeah.
Well, it's a food truck. And so I went on Yelp to see the reviews.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the horchata, it's okay. I've had better. And I asked for it with no ice so it wouldn't get watered down, but they put ice in it. So I hear that it takes a long time to get your food from the food truck, which can be the case with a lot of food trucks, but this one really got a lot of reviews saying
it takes too
long. And that
maybe it's so popular that there's a line, so you have to wait. No?
Yes, but you got to work on that if you're a food truck. Like people do not want to be waiting for 20 minutes. There used to be outside Station X. And anybody that used to be in San Francisco might know this truck. It was called Mayo and Mustard. And they would do these sandwiches. They had a tri-tip sandwich that was a bomb. And every time they came outside Station X, there would be a line. I'm not even kidding, like around the block, just for that truck. And on one hand, that goes to show how good they are. On the other hand, though, I remember one time I was on my lunch break. I had to go back up to do a news update because that's how long it took. And then I had to come back down to get my sandwich because I couldn't wait anymore. I was like, that takes way too long. Yeah. So this is really, really good. Tell me in the comments. Oh yeah, Kim, I didn't get the consomme. I could have bought the consomme, but it was another $3.
It's clearing your sinuses is what it's doing.
Yeah, exactly. This is really good. I had to kind of warm it up in the microwave so it's not as crispy. The top is, but the bottom's not.
There is a food truck in Petaluma. And I've been kind of leery of food trucks. I'm like, I don't know. There's one in Petaluma. It has the freshest Mexican food that I have ever tasted. And my son, my 9-year-old, loves the fish tacos, which is really interesting. Just amazing. He can't get enough of this place. It's called Elroy's.
Mhm.
and they have 2 trucks in town. One is at the Petaluma Fairgrounds parking lot, and
Mhm.
the other is off at this flooring shop parking lot. And then they have a restaurant in town as well. And they don't deliver. So usually we just go get the food at the food truck, but the freshest ingredients and the
Nice.
best food, so good. And it takes a lot for me to say that because there's been this Mexican food and restaurant in town that I kind of, you find the one you like and you
Yep.
have allegiance and loyalty to that
Mhm.
one. So I'm very loyal to Mi Pueblo, which is a chain of Mexican restaurants in the North Bay. But I'll tell you, Elroy's, whew, they have some good food.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Mhm.
When you told me, when you're like, you have to go find the best Mexican food in San Jose, I was like, that's not possible. Because there's so many places that are so and many places
Yeah.
I've never even heard of, right? I mean, it's just not gonna happen. Yeah, so horchata again, somebody also said it's rice milk with like sugar cinnamon in it.
Oh,
It's not bad. It's just really
is it worth the sugary drink calories for that?
no, I won't be finishing this drink.
Mm-mm.
Not at all. And I wanted a small one. I wanted like, like the kid size, but it only came in
Yeah.
medium and large. And so it's not, it's no good. Yes. Lori, that's a great description. Horchata reminds me of a liquid churro. Too much sugar, but
Oh.
delicious. Yeah, that's the best description I've heard so far. It's literally like a liquid churro. That's exactly what it tastes like. But yeah, it's too much. Flo, I feel like you've mentioned the falafel shack before. I don't like falafel.
You might love it though. You might go to the falafel shack and be like, I must have more. I must increase my bust. I wanted to show you this because you're a fan of the spicy,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
This is, a lot of people today might be thinking, a little margarita in honor of Cinco de Mayo.
Mhm.
Why not? Well, this is right up your alley, Nikki. This is a spicy margarita.
Ooh.
They put the peppers. I would not like this at all. Just give me the blended strawberry margarita or mango margarita, and I'm happy. If it's a little sweet and icy, I'm good. But this is a spicy margarita on the rocks. Look at that.
That doesn't
Yeah.
look too bad. I'm just not a tequila drinker.
It's got tequila, Cointreau, lime juice, simple syrup, cilantro, red peppers. Yeah. So spicy margarita. There you go.
Are you going to have your monthly drink today?
I had my monthly drink last night.
Ooh, you did?
Uh-huh.
What did you drink?
I had a glass of wine at the Mark Thompson Happy Half Hour. And it was a big glass too. It was like one of those fishbowl wine glasses. Yeah. I was sitting here drinking my wine.
Were you getting all hammered?
No. It's a little wine.
It's a little wine in a fishbowl.
One of my kids walked in and said, "What are you doing? Why are you drinking on camera?" And I'm like, "Well,
why not?
It's a different kind of show. This is."
There you go. Well, this was really good. I will say that quesadilla from Consumo. I want to get the name right. Hold on. Make sure I say the right one.
Birria is traditionally goat, says JR, but can be beef. It's more the preparation style. Oh, okay.
Con Sabor a Mexico is the name of the place where I got my quesadilla. Yeah, it is traditionally with goat. I just always assume it's goat, and then it's usually beef. So it's really, really good. Let's see. Yeah. Shawarma pita. I might try that, Flo, at the falafel place. I'm not a tequila drinker, so I was talking with one of my mom friends today, and I was like, "What are you doing after we volunteer at the school?" Pardon me for Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
She's like, margaritas. And I'm like, I really don't do tequila. Excuse me. And she's like, sangria. And I was like, I do sangria. Now I used to drink so much sangria, but I did it the totally like not classy way. Gallo sangria, Gallo sangria comes in the gigantic jug.
That's the cheap way to go.
Yes. So you get that and you put some 7-Up in it in a glass with ice. Oh, I would go through an entire bottle in a weekend. I'm not even kidding. So yeah, really, really yummy. So we might be doing that.
There's a Peruvian restaurant in Petaluma, and they have the sangria that is so good. And they have all kinds of cut up fruit in there. And it's not, I'm going to see if I can find the name of the restaurant. I don't know if the name, it's right on the Petaluma Boulevard. It's not the one on the river. It's the one on the boulevard, but they have this sangria and it's tasty. It's made with a wine base, but
Ooh, yeah.
it doesn't have 7-Up in it, but maybe some other type of sweet soda.
I don't think
know.
7-Up is in most
But
recipes.
it's got like apples and berries, and it's just like the whole thing is, I want more of that. It's so good.
That's awesome. Yeah, Kim thinks that you should have a Cinco de Mayo margarita, though. I mean, and it's Friday. It's not like Cinco de Mayo is falling on like a Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's Friday. Sorry, I had to sing the song. Well, yeah, Neiman. The best sangria I ever had was in Barcelona, Spain. I would hope so. I would really, really hope so. But yeah, so I'll be drinking sangria tonight. I don't know. We might walk to the neighborhood bar and have some more beverages or something, but I'm not driving. I was mentioning earlier, they're shutting down all the freeways in San Jose to go to downtown. So, cause they're having, parades and all kinds of stuff. So figure out what you're doing in your neck of the woods. Okay. Oh, we have plenty of time because we went to news late. There is a lunar eclipse also tonight. And they're saying it's going to cause some cosmic shake-ups. It's going to be visible not in North America, but Asia, Australia, Africa. We just get a full moon. Okay, so what zodiac sign are you, Kim McAllister?
Do you have a guess?
I know your birthday is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know my astrological.
I mean, but you know your astrological personality traits, right?
Oh, no, I don't. No? I only know mine. I know my.
I am a Gemini.
Oh, you're a Gemini. You're like my son. My son's a Gemini. Okay.
Yeah.
My best friend one of my best friends is a Gemini. Yeah. Okay, so let me see how this lunar eclipse is going to impact Gemini. Well, here we go. Okay.
And what are you?
I'm a Scorpio, baby.
Okay.
I'm a Scorpio. My husband's a Scorpio. My in-laws are Scorpios. We're just Scorpios over here. All right. So Gemini, accidents could happen during the eclipse.
No.
So be sure to look both ways before crossing the street. Simply put, take your time.
I'm going to end up like that grandma down on the pavement.
I was thinking the same thing. Don't rush through projects. Work carefully. Remember to dot all of your I's and cross your T's and thoroughly read contracts to avoid unforeseen issues.
Okay.
Pay attention to details.
Well, it just happened to me in the newscast. I showed the wrong picture on the wrong story. So
whatever. Oh, and then Natalie's a Gemini too. All right. Let's go through some of these. I'll read all of them. Okay. Let's start with Aries. Okay. So do I have an Aries in the house? So for you Aries out there, your confidence may fluctuate at this time, making you unsure of your footing and role in situations and relationships. Take time to appreciate the splendor and positivity you offer others and bring some of those good vibes back to yourself. Remember that you are a beautiful being worthy of love.
Well, that's a nice one. That's much
a nice
better
one.
than watch out for accidents.
Dot your I's and cross your T's. Okay. Taurus. Do I have Tauruses? My brother is a Taurus. He's April. He's an April.
So's my
birthday.
sister.
Yeah. Okay. So this is for them. Focusing on the needs of those you care about will allow you to help relationships grow. Stepping outside of yourself is a good thing every once in a while, especially when you have a friend in need. Be there for those who are struggling and give them extra support. That's not bad. All right. Cancer. My mom's a Cancer. Any Cancers out? Yes. Okay. Cancers, make plans to have a romantic date with your crush or a significant other. Oh. The more you connect with the person you most adore under this lunation or lunar month, the closer you'll become. Share your intimate feelings and secrets to create a bond that brings you together. Leos. I saw some Leos in there. All right, Leos. If you're considering home renovations, you might want to reconsider. It's not the time to make major changes to the home, given that Mercury is in retrograde during eclipse season. If you feel the urge to upgrade your dwelling, spruce it up with fun accent pieces like throw pillows and a new rug. So if you're going to redo the kitchen, get a new tablecloth. Don't do the kitchen. Apparently, just don't even do that. Virgo, my dad's a Virgo, so listen up, daddy. There's a lot of information circling around your head and within your inbox at the moment, since old flames and friends are sending intense communication to you out of the blue. Find a moment of calm in the day to understand and appreciate the messages that are currently coming your way. Any Virgos out there? There you go. Oh, and RN Sue is a Taurus. Birthday tomorrow. Happy early birthday. Happy early birthday to you. Okay, we have a couple more.
Happy birthday.
Libra doesn't get much. Libra, all it says for you is it's a good time to check on your finances. The good news is that you'll soon be able to make strides and work with your situation to improve it for the better. So there you go. That's pretty nice for you, Libras. All right, me, Scorpios. I saw a bunch of Scorpios in there. All right. I love this. Emotions are high at this time. We Scorpios know emotions are always high at this time. Emotions are high at this time as the universe is pushing you to evolve at lightning speed. You don't have to make any sudden or impulsive moves, even if you think you're being urged to do so right now. Move at your own pace towards growth. Don't rush the process.
That's really good advice for you. That is kind of what you're going through too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, everything's going to be, oh, look at this. Virgo got a job offer. Congratulations, Nicole. That's awesome.
Hey.
Congratulations. All right. How many more do I have? I have 4 more. All right. Let's see. Sagittarius. You may feel like hiding away from the limelight right now as you're wanting to spend some time alone to reconnect with yourself. Give yourself the opportunity and freedom to focus on you and you alone. Turn off your phone and zone out for a while. Capricorn. I don't know. I don't think I know any Capricorns. I mean, maybe in the live chat. Capricorns, you're finding that your core group of friends are not living up to their hype. They're not including you in recent get-togethers and being distant. At this time, you may want to create boundaries with them and set limits in order to protect your heart from being hurt or just have a frank conversation. There you go.
Screw you guys, right?
Aquarius. One of my good friends is an Aquarius. Finding balance between your personal and professional lives can be challenging. You sometimes dedicate the majority of your energy toward work. Allow yourself to have time for yourself and family in an attempt to maintain a peaceful and harmonious center. And then finally, Pisces.
That's my husband is a Pisces.
Yeah. Pisces is February, right? Is that
well, maybe, but he's March.
March. Okay. Yeah. Because Marley's a Pisces. All right. You're longing to understand matters that are eluding you at the moment, but you can't understand everything. Don't let the confusion stress you out. The truth always comes to light. So be patient. You will receive the answers you long for soon. So there you go, people. Miss Cleo. I loved her, even though she was a total scam artist. Remember Miss Cleo on TV? She was like the psychic. I'm not a psychic. I'm just reading. Did you ever get into reading your horoscope? Anybody do anything like that?
I still will. If I'm perusing SF Gate and it says horoscope for today, I'll always click on it. I mean, I don't believe in it, but sometimes it's like, it's interesting to read to see if it's at all applicable to your life.
Exactly. But they always keep it like vague enough where it could apply to anything and everything, right?
It's true.
Oh, Flo likes the Zodiac segment. Can I just pretend that I am? Sure. There you go. Okay, so there you go. But it is a lunar eclipse. Unfortunately, we will not see it. But if you're feeling a little awkward, that's why. All right. Well, are you ready for your news? I know that
why not?
Okay, let's do some headlines. When we come back, I do want to talk about AI. I also want to squeeze both of these things in. AI, and I also want to talk about the latest place they're putting up or possibly going to put up tip jars. I think that there's just too much fatigue with all this nonsense. I mean, how many times I've gotten so comfortable saying no.
Really?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
That's not happening. Okay, so that's all coming up after the headlines.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Medoro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
And we will start with the jobs report because unemployment is at the lowest level since 1969. The Labor Department reported this morning that unemployment dropped to 3.4%. That exceeded Wall Street's expectations, which had predicted an unemployment rate of 3.6%. And it's actually, again, 3.4%. COVID is no longer considered a global health emergency. as I reported earlier today, this is big news, though. The World Health Organization making the decision to downgrade the pandemic after discussing it yesterday. In a conference today, the WHO's Director General said the pandemic has been on a downward trend for more than a year, and it's allowed nations to return to life as they knew it before the pandemic. So things are a little better now, and here we go. No more pandemic. Does that mean it's officially over? If the World Health Organization says so,
Yes.
seems like it.
Although
You
I know
know,
people that have COVID. So there you go. I don't know.
it's not, I mean, I think we're something we're living with now and will live with
Yes.
forever because it's now part of our,
It's like the flu. I mean,
disease
yeah,
repertoire, right? I mean, here
exactly.
it is to stay, but it's not the same level that we saw. And I don't know. I wonder if now that we're in a different mode, we've got, we're able to be inoculated for this. We are able to deal with it a little bit better. We know more about it. It makes me feel like, did we go overboard? I mean, I know we saved a
Well,
lot of
you can
people by
Monday
going
morning quarterback
overboard.
the whole entire
Yeah.
thing, and that's not
Yeah.
fair. You know what I mean? It's just not fair.
Yeah. Let's talk about immigration because there's a big thing happening at the border. The Homeland Security Secretary is in South Texas just days before Title 42 is set to expire. There have been more than 8,400 migrant encounters in the last 24 hours across the entire southwest border. The Fed's latest plan to stem the tide put a spotlight on deportation flights that ship asylum seekers from Texas back to Central America. So there's a lot of people apparently camping out and just waiting for this all to come down. The writer's strike is now in its fourth day. Thousands of Writers Guild of America members are participating and picketing outside major studios in Los Angeles. They've been doing so since Tuesday. Yesterday, the head of Paramount told investors he doesn't believe viewers will see a major impact for a while. However, we're already seeing that with late night TV, Drew Barrymore deciding to not host this year's MTV Awards. So I don't know. This is interesting. Patrons at a tavern in Minnesota will be served by a new high tech face. Robot server Bella at the Midtown Tavern in Moorhead provides service with a smile, a happy cat smile that's programmed on her screen. The owner of the Midtown Tavern says he's been dealing with staff shortages for the last couple of years, and Bella has been a welcome addition. So maybe that's the answer. You see all the signs everywhere saying help wanted. Maybe it's the computer robot that's going to provide the help. And of course, if you are into such things, the race for the Triple Crown begins this weekend. The 149th running of the Kentucky Derby will take place tomorrow at Churchill Downs. This year's favorite to win the most exciting 2 minutes in sports is Forte. Is the name of the horse.
Forte. I've always wanted to
Forte.
go. My sister lives in Kentucky, and I would love to go, but it's just one of those things where I've never been able to do it yet. But I would love have some mint juleps that people were talking about earlier in the chat. Give that a shot.
I have one more, and it is. It's okay. It's the hit series Yellowstone. It's set to end after its 5th season.
Is this the 5th
coming to a
season?
close. I think we might have one more. I don't know. Paramount Network will begin airing the second part to the final season. So we got the first few episodes. They broke it apart. Now we'll get the next few episodes, and then it's over. Which is really a bummer because that story had a lot more life left.
But they're doing like the prequels and all the other years, aren't they? I mean,
yeah, they are, but they had a Kevin Costner issue, I think, and so maybe that played in. But yes, this comes months after reports that lead actor Kevin Costner would be leaving the series to focus on other projects. An untitled sequel series has been ordered, and it will premiere on Paramount in December. So they have 2 prequels already.
Right.
Now a sequel is going to come, all based around the original Yellowstone, which will just get another, I think it's maybe 4 episodes that are coming out, and that will be the end of Yellowstone.
Well, it's the end of the era. I mean, Succession's ending soon. I finally caught up. I watched all of the seasons. So I'm all caught up in time for the series finale that's coming at the end of this month. Firefly Lane.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, I cried for 2 hours straight.
I told you that I was like, my husband came home and I am bawling in bed because I'm watching it on my phone and I am bawling. I mean, my pillowcase is soaking wet, and he's like, and I love that crap. I swear to God, I love when movies make me cry. But this show, but that was another one that did the season 2, part 2. I'm like, it's season 3. Just call it freaking season 3. I don't know why they do stuff like that, but whatever. But yeah, that was Firefly Lane. If you're in for a tearjerker.
I usually, if
OMG.
I know it's going to be a tearjerker like that, I will avoid because
Really? Oh,
I
not
don't
me.
often like to
I
be
love
like,
it.
I want to have a happy experience.
No.
I don't want to be sad.
I
But I'm
love it.
telling you, this show is worth every tear.
Oh yeah, it
So
is.
good.
I love anything that makes me feel something. So if
Yeah.
I'm laughing my butt off, I love it. If I'm scared out of my mind, I love it. If I'm
Right.
crying, if you can evoke a true emotion out of me,
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm in for all of it. I love it.
The quote in the show was, I think she said something like, "This is like terms of endearment, steel magnolias and beaches all at once." And I'm like, it describes the show.
Exactly. It is so good. Lori says that they're doing a sequel, I'm assuming, of Yellowstone with Mike Kinda Hottie, whose face is covered by my food. Sorry, boyfriend.
He would not be
Sorry.
pleased to know you put tacos on his face. Maybe he would.
Who knows? Everybody loves tacos. Everybody loves tacos. But yeah, I mean, it is I watch. I hope I don't have to watch. I know Yellowstone's really good. I should just I've watched like half of the first season, similar to Succession. I just need to get into it. But if
it's
my
so
kind of
good.
hottie's in it, then
Yeah.
damn well I'm gonna be watching that. Because then he'll bring out that accent that he has and the twang that he has. He's such a cutie. He is so cute. Big thank you to Andreas. Thank you, my friend. I'm so happy to see you in the live chat with the $50 super chat donation. Let me give some other shout outs to people that have donated. Lady Beatrice with a $5 donation. Carrie Fisher got her star. Yeah, we talked about that. It was Star Wars Day Miracle, and I'm so happy for her. Only wish she had been there to see it. Agreed. Also, Lady Beatrice says, can we rejoice that Carrie Fisher finally got her star? Exactly. And we talked about that yesterday in the recorded part of the show because it was in May the 4th be with you, which is something I got to say when I emceed the event yesterday as well. I wasn't the only one, but I did. But yeah, it's way past due. I can't believe it took that long. And of course, Wes started us off in the super chat donations with the $20. Thank you. Actually, it was RJ. I apologize, RJ. It was you that started us off with a $20 and an effing Friday.
nice.
Thank God. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. And again, if you guys want to support the show, please go to the website.
Can I just say, I love what Wes said. I have to support the things that make me happy.
Please do. I love being here with you guys. Absolutely love being here.
Oh my gosh. And Wes again. Wow.
Oh, you're so great, Wes.
Have to beat you just once, Andreas.
You guys are so generous. I really, really do appreciate it. Wes, thank you so much for that donation as well.
Really kind. Thank you.
It helps us out. It really does. And again, the Patreon is that consistent monthly money that we can, and you could donate any amount per month that you can afford, and we appreciate it. So just go to the NikkiMedoroShow.com, the NikkiMedoroShow.com, and our Patreon link is right there. Okay, we got a bunch of stuff to squeeze in before we get to the movies with Tim Sika. So first off, did you see this weird, and I'm not going to play it because there's the Smash Mouth song. Somebody once told me that, that song. Yeah, I forget the name of it. But anyways, they have this AI beer commercial, and here it is. Okay, so and it has everybody, and it says everybody in this commercial is AI generated. And it's purposely made to look weird, like they're not drinking correctly. They have way too many fingers, like right there.
Oh, wow.
They're trying to do a barbecue, and obviously it goes haywire. And then like the song starts skipping or whatever. Now that's the funny part of AI, but this is the serious part. The grandparent scam, when somebody calls in and says, "Oh, your grandson's in jail. They need you to bail him out."
Right.
Well, now AI is able to clone your voice. So it sounds just like the person. Voice cloning is an AI technology that imitates a person's voice and replicates it. 11 Labs is an AI speech software company. It says its voice cloning technology produces voices that sound similar but are not technically identical to materials that people upload. So if you can get enough of somebody's voice, then you can clone it.
Well, our voices are ripe for the pickings, right? Because you can get a lot of our voices. So what do you need now? A code word?
Yes, that's exactly what you need. So if somebody calls you and says, like, I'm your dad, I'm in an accident, I need money or whatever, then you need to say, okay, what's the password? Because obviously
code word owl screeches in the night. I mean, what are you gonna? Yeah.
Well, but then that raised something to me. Do you not have a password with your family? Do you not have a password with your kids?
No.
You never developed that?
When they were little, when, just in case someone rolled up and said, your mom told me to pick you up.
Yes.
We did. I forget what it was. We never used it. And so it's kind of gone by the wayside.
Oh,
now
we have the same one that my parents had when we were kids. So I'm obviously not going to tell you what it is, but, absolutely. Absolutely. My mom even tested me and my brother like years ago. She's like, do you remember what the password is? And me and my brother were like, yes, obviously. And we never had to test it, but that seems to be the easiest way to do it. You have to ask questions that only a real person would know, such as what did we talk about the last time we talked? And of course, if somebody's like, I need $100 gift card on Amazon to get out of jail, you're being scammed, man. I mean, come on. That's just, yeah, exactly, Murphy. We have a family code word. We developed it when the kids went to school and just keep it the same. That's what it is. Everybody remembered it. That's what it is. So there's the way to get around it. But I can imagine it's 2:00 in the morning. Your phone is ringing. It sounds like your husband who's on a trip maybe or something. And all of a sudden you're like, okay, let me just get something situated, If
it sounded like him or to an older person who can be duped, even if it doesn't, imagine if it did sound like your grandchild.
Exactly.
And now all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I got to help this person out.
Yeah, it's definitely something you need to keep in mind. But the easiest way to get around it, of course, is just have a password. Just be like, hey, what's the password? And if they hem and haw at all, you are going to know that they're not obviously telling the truth. So that's your little tip of the day to not get scammed by AI. Now, do you guys think that this is a scam? Apple, its unionized store in Maryland, wants a new contract. And so what are some of the things that you would anticipate? Okay, we want higher wages.
Right.
But the list of the things they want,
a free MacBook,
is getting a bit much. Okay, so listen to all of these things. Okay, now of course this is a negotiation. So they want raises of as much as 10%, but then they also want to expand vacation pay and available time off based on years of service. Okay.
Yeah.
They want to extend paid bereavement leave from 10 days per occurrence to a maximum of 45 days a year. Ooh. And the policy to include pets and close friends. What do you think about that? Look, okay. And our friend Karen, when when one of her dogs would pass away, these dogs are like her
destroyed.
kids.
Yeah.
Destroyed. So I could understand including pets and close friends in this. You could have a lot of friends and a lot of pets though. Up to 45 days seems like a lot. But
it does
bereavement
seem like a lot. Although some people have bad luck. I have a friend who in the last 3 months, her father-in-law died, her sister died, someone else died, another family member died, her husband's grandmother died, like all at once. And and we saw Andreas,
so
we
sad.
saw who he lost both parents back to back. So in a case like that where you lose
I need time.
Sometimes it happens where you lose a string of people at once. My best friend is dealing with 4 losses all at once. Like how much can one person take?
Yeah.
And that's a lot of time. So I think there are situations where that could be helpful.
Right.
But do I think someone should take 45 days because their cat died? Probably not.
I would be so sad if Nuggy Buggy died. If
I
my dog
know.
died, I was just snuggling him on the couch before I went on the show, and and again, it's like it becomes like one of your children. You're like, God, I hope nothing ever happens to you, even though I know that dog's gonna leave me someday. But here's the thing that, like, when I read it, I was like, okay, this is just a step too far. You tell me. What they are also asking for is for Apple to adopt a tipping system, letting people offer gratuities in increments of 3 and 5% or a custom amount for in-store credit card transactions. So you go to the Apple store, somebody's helping you get your phone, you swipe your card, and that thing that happens at Subway and other restaurants is going to happen where they're going to turn the thing around and be like, you can fill out the screen.
How much would you like to tip your genius today?
Well, it's retail tipping now. It's not just food tipping now. Now it's retail tipping. Are you ready to start tipping somebody that helps you in a clothing store or an Apple store or a shoe store? I mean, it's getting a bit much.
It's too much. Like, then all of a sudden, nothing is. I mean, we're already at the point where things aren't affordable. But it's like, then I don't want to go anywhere because I'm afraid I'm going to have to tip someone.
I feel like I've gotten good at really saying like, and no.
Sometimes, tipping is great, but when you have to tip everywhere, that can really break you. I don't want to seem like I'm a person who doesn't want to tip. I do. But if they're asking every time you turn around, I can then only afford half the stuff I may be purchasing on a normal day. Then I have to really cut back. And it affects the economy and purchases. And I don't know.
It's just, it's becoming a point where, why am I tipping? Like, what are tips for? So tips are for service. So one could argue, well, I am providing a service, but I don't know, restaurant tipping where somebody's bringing you food, even if it's takeout, because I know that it can even be sometimes even more work because you got to box everything up and make sure everything's in there. I don't have a problem with the sandwich maker. Subway people don't get mad at me, but I really don't tip sandwich makers. I worked as a sandwich maker, and I'm saying this. Maybe I should be tipping any sort of food product. I should tip. Coffee, I should tip. Maybe just keeping it in the realm of food. But retail, why is retail different in my mind? Maybe just simply because it's never been there before. But if you're only paying minimum wage, then obviously these people aren't making enough money.
I need it.
Just pay your people more money.
Yeah.
Joe writes in, if you want us to tip all of the time, you have to bring the prices down.
Right.
The combo, both price increases and expected tips, now is crazy. Well said. And there's going to be tip backlash. Like, for instance, I'm getting completely used to them turning it around, asking to tip and saying no, and turning it right back around and being like, I can't afford to tip everywhere I go. I just can't. Jim says tips outside of the restaurant? No, because waitresses get paid less than minimum wage because tips are expected by the IRS. Yeah. I mean, and Kim, tips to ensure proper service. Yeah. I mean, did I tell you the story about how my daughter and her friend went out to eat by themselves? They went to the restaurant and my daughter's like asking for my card. And I said, okay. And then they're like, and she's like, and my friend knows, how to figure out the tip. And they're like 10%, right? Or my daughter was like 15%, right? And her friend's like, no, 10. And I go, no, 20. I'm a 20% tipper. There's nothing less. 20 is the base. And then I go up from there. For me, that's not everybody, but that's for me. And I was like, no, 20. And you could figure out 20 just as easily as you could figure out 10. And so they did. But other than that, if I was educating my child on how to properly tip, it would not include Apple stores or shoe stores or, a grocery store. Am I supposed to tip my checkout person? I mean, they're providing a service. I mean,
coming soon. And then the next time they see you, they'll give you better service and speed it along. And, how are you today, Mrs. Medoro?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. Wes says, I tip for personal service. Fast food is not personal. Yeah. Retail is not personal. Tip is the waitress that gives good service, the Uber driver, the Instacart driver. Okay. Yeah. Delivery for me, I tip just because you're doing something I don't want to do.
Right.
So,
I mean, if we think about, we could tip everyone who is a low wage worker. I mean,
Right.
We'd be broke. We are broke.
They're broke. That's kind of the point, though. Is like they're broke.
Says the girls that have a virtual tip jar here on the show. But that's different. I mean, I think.
But this is the only way we make money. We don't have
there is
a
no
salary
low wages,
coming in.
right?
Yeah, it's not as if we're making a base salary and then asking for tips.
Yeah.
This is the only way we make money on this show.
Right.
So, but yeah, exactly. And I wonder how many of the employees look at it like, ugh, I hate that it's there. I mean, I'm sure they don't mind getting the extra money, but I would feel awkward every time. And then you turn it around.
Would feel awkward every time I said, "Would you like to tip today?" I was asked that at a drive-through coffee place called the Java Hut yesterday, and they don't have a thing you flip around. They just have to ask you so they can bring it into the register. And she's like, "Would you like to leave a tip today?" And what do you say?
No, I don't.
would not like to leave a tip today. I mean, and she was so nice. And so I said, "What was my total again?"
Awkward.
And then she's like, "It was $16." And I'm like, "Oh, well, I'll leave a $3 tip." I don't know what the percentage is on that. Is that too much?
150, right? Would be 10%. 160, $1.60. So
yes,
double
I'd
that
like
for
to
20%.
give you $1.
Yeah, but $3 is 20%.
Yeah.
I love the whole rounding up. Would you like to round up to the nearest dollar for whatever? No.
For starving children, yeah.
But you know why I say no to that? Because I learned. So for instance, when some sort of store says, "Would you like to tip up?" and it goes to this nonprofit.
Yeah.
I read that they've already made their donation. This is just for them to kind of offset it if you want to help them make the donation they've already met. Like, you decided to do that. I didn't decide to freaking do that.
Right.
No, thank you. But it sucks because you don't want to be seen as that person. You know what I mean? You don't want to be the
stingy.
Yeah, it's so awkward. It just really
you want it to be a
is.
good moment, not a moment of sadness. When they say, when they flip the screen around, you don't want to be like, and they flip it around and it says no tip.
And I'm wondering, because I never know what it looks like. I'm assuming it matters what kind of app, or if you're using Square or whatever program you're using, what it says. Because sometimes I feel like, are they not going to make my sandwich as well because I didn't tip them? Or are they? It's Carrot asked, do you tip when you do a to-go order? Like if you pick up pizza or a to-go sandwich? So pizza and Togos, no. If the pizza is delivered to me, yes. If I go to a restaurant, see, that's the sandwich thing is an anomaly for me. I don't tip my sandwich makers, and maybe I should. That's awful of me. If I don't know, but if I go and pick up my pizza, I don't tip them either.
Well, the next time you get a sandwich, it's going to have spit in it, Nikki.
I know. Am I just
That's
a cheapskate? I was a Togo. That was one of my first jobs. Was a Togo sandwich maker. Did I ever in a million years think someone was going to tip me for doing it? No. But if I do order, like let's say from a restaurant, and there's a bunch of orders and I go to pick it up, I tip. I don't know why I pick and choose that way, but I do. Nit says, even Goodwill and Salvation Army ask if you want to round up. I always say no, thank you. No, I don't want to round up. How about you round down? Can you cut me a deal? I don't know. Can I save a couple of pennies? No, you don't want to give me the leftover dollar? I guess not. No. Let me yeah. JR, thank you so much for the $20 donation. I have to read it right now. This tip is for Nugget since he never asks for money. No, he doesn't. Just treats. He just asks for treats with that most adorable face that he has. And it's so funny. I have this bag of treats. They look like little jerkies or whatever. And I break them in half to make them obviously last longer. And my mom comes over the other day and she's like, if you were at my house, Nuggie, I would give you the whole entire jerky. I'm like, Mom, he doesn't understand English and he loves me more. So he does. He doesn't ask for any money, but he does like all of the treats.
Your mom's funny. I like her.
Dude, she cracks me up. Wes says, I pick up my pizza order. I add $1 or $2, not more usually. You guys are so nice.
Yeah.
John, always be nice to those who prepare or serve your food. Otherwise, you may get special seasonings. Exactly.
Special seasonings.
That's Floyd, I worked at Togo's too. Oh, yeah, I remember, and I'm not knocking sandwich makers. It's a job. It was one of the jobs I liked the least. It was, again, no tips. So it was just a paycheck, right? And it just felt like I was on an assembly line, and it just was so like muscle memory. I wasn't really there in my, because there's no real like, what do you want? Okay. They'd give a number, and it was just, I remember I made half of a sandwich for my dad before I realized that it was my dad that was ordering the sandwich, which goes to show how much I was really paying attention. But
I have a story about sandwich making. I mean, in my family, and this is so awful to say because I don't feel this way, but it has been used as the pinnacle of failure. Right? So there's this bar called the Buckhorn right on Petaluma Boulevard. And we used to go down to a street and turn right, and to the left was the Buckhorn. And I don't know if I had done poorly on a test or gotten a bad grade on something. I got a D in home ec in junior high because I couldn't make a French knot. Whatever. It might have been then. So my mom, who's a school teacher, would point at the Buckhorn and say, if you don't start getting better grades, you're going to end up slapping mayonnaise on sandwiches down at the Buckhorn.
Wow. Okay.
The Buckhorn is still in existence. So now I say that to my kids.
You know, there are some hard workers at the Buckhorn that you're, you know,
the Buckhorn doesn't even, they don't even serve sandwiches at the Buckhorn. Like there's no sandwich making going on there. But we just point at the Buckhorn and like, if you don't get better grades,
that's where you're going to
end
up.
You're at the Buckhorn. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, nowadays some people want,
it's a perfectly fine place. It's a lovely place.
Absolutely. You shouldn't look down on people because of their
not at
jobs, Kim McAllister.
No, you shouldn't. Blame my mother.
I love this comment from Amy. People have always said lesbians are bad tippers, so I always make sure I tip 25% or more. I have never heard this in my entire life, Amy. I have never heard that lesbians are bad tippers ever. That is so funny. Okay. Well, I mean, whatever gets, I guess, more tips. I'm like, all right. I wouldn't use that as a reason, but let's see. Oh. Robert says, when CVS, Ace, or Safeway asks if you want to round up for X, Y, and Z charity, ask them if their store will match. Ooh, that's putting it back on them. Karen says, a friend of mine used to say to me, after we get fired, you'll be saying out of the window, will you be having fries with that, sir? And I turn to my friend and say, burger and fries. Okay. Oh, that's an interesting one. Yeah, tip jars for public education classrooms. Look, if I was going to tip anything, I would definitely be doing that, as Oakland teachers are striking for the second day today, which is just absolutely insane.
I have to say, when it comes around to donate stuff to the classroom,
I'm all like,
first in line. And during the holidays, when it's a holiday gift for the teacher, my mom says, as an elementary school teacher, the best gift she ever got was a crisp $100 bill.
Done.
And so now I do it every Christmas. I'm like, $100 for the teacher. And maybe I should up my donation.
How many teachers do you give that to?
Well, we only have one for, we had one for the third grader, my third grader. And now my eighth grader has two teachers because she goes to a smaller school. So
it costs you $200 for that. Because you don't want the teachers to.
Yeah.
And then she's going to go to high school, Kim McAllister. I mean,
that's where we have to stop. That's where this whole $100
Sorry, high school teachers, you're asked out in the McAllister household. Sorry.
No, too much.
Okay, Tim Sika is waiting in the wings. I mean, pretty soon you're going to have to tip your movie usher and all kinds of people. My God. So we'll talk movies, what to stream or watch in the theaters coming up. Again, I want to give some shout outs right now because Andreas has just been so generous. Andreas, $100 donation. I so very much appreciate you. In addition to another $50 and another $50. Andreas, thank you. Again, I love the comment from JR about Nugget. Thank you, JR. Wes with a 50 cent donation to beat Andreas.
Wes.
I love it. Lady Beatrice, again, with a couple of $5 donations and some love for Carrie Fisher. And then Wes again with $20 and RJ with $20. So you guys are great. Thank you. Andreas, again, I love seeing you in the chat. You guys are so generous, and we really, really do appreciate every amount that you guys can donate. It makes a difference. Okay, so Kim's going to do some quick headlines, and then we are going to talk movies with Tim Sika next.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Medoro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
And we'll start with, I know you guys love the picture, right? Former President Trump, new documents, including deposition video, being released in the former president's civil case. The video of Trump's deposition, he is seen mistakenly identifying a woman in a picture as his ex-wife, Marla Maples, rather than as his accuser, writer E. Jean Carroll. Trump is being sued by Carroll for sexual battery and defamation over an alleged sexual assault in the 1990s. And of course, his response to those allegations was that E. Jean Carroll wasn't his type. Well, then he's mistakenly identifying a woman in a picture as his ex-wife, who apparently was his type. So what is it? Not your type is your type. As many would say, whether someone is someone's type really has no bearing on a rape case. That's a crime of power and control, not attraction. This is Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who says Disney's self-government is over. It's DeSantis signing a bill into law earlier Friday that will void the theme park development's agreements approved by its previous oversight board. The new legislation will officially take effect in July. This is the governor's latest move in the ongoing feud with the Walt Disney Corporation. The back and forth between the state of Florida and Disney started last year when the company publicly spoke out against a law restricting discussions of sexual orientation in public schools between grades kindergarten through third. And we'll see if he gets away with this, because what Disney did with their board kind of stripping any powers that the DeSantis' incoming board would have seemed to be legal. So we'll see how that pans out. Shaquille O'Neal, the NBA legend, joining a group looking to buy BET Media. The Wall Street Journal says O'Neal's is part of a group that also includes rapper 50 Cent, who wants to buy the media company from Paramount Global. BET Media Group includes BET and VH1 cable networks, along with BET Plus streaming service. There are no reports of anything at all suspicious being found aboard a plane today after a bomb threat was made to a JetBlue flight headed from Las Vegas to LAX. The plane had to be evacuated after landing in Los Angeles yesterday afternoon. Authorities say a disgruntled passenger who missed his flight decided to say his luggage, which was on that plane ahead of him, contained a bomb. Las Vegas police say they took enforcement action against that passenger in Nevada, but what a tense flight that was until they could prove that that wasn't the case. It's a horrible story out of Petaluma. A taxi driver now facing one count of rape after allegedly assaulting a passenger in Petaluma. The Sonoma County DA's office charging the 41-year-old man on Thursday. He remains behind bars on $100,000 bail. The man is accused of getting into the back seat of his taxi, assaulting this woman after driving her to the west side of Petaluma late Tuesday night. Investigators say they have video evidence supporting this woman's claims in this case. Researchers say a very old elk's tooth pendant found in a cave in Siberia has been tied to a Stone Age woman who wore it 20,000 years ago. Scientists said this week that they used a new method for extracting DNA absorbed by porous materials, including bones, teeth, and tusks that were handled by someone thousands of years ago. They say the pendant belonged to a Stone Age woman closely related to a population of hunter-gatherers known to have lived in part of the Siberia foothill mountain or of mountains along the border of Siberia and Mongolia. So, lastly, this shocking story coming out of New York. There is a church in Troy, New York, coming under fire, one could say, for raffling off an AR-15 style assault weapon. Grace Baptist Church says it's been done before at its annual revival meeting, noting someone can choose between a flamethrower or an AR-15 rifle. Praise God and pass the ammo. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand was asked about it at an unrelated news conference, saying the military-style weapons should be banned and shouldn't be available to civilians. She says, as a person of faith, it's disturbing to her that a church would be giving away weapons of war.
Exactly. Exactly. Tax the hell out of them. I mean, I just whatever.
We need to raise money for the church, so we're going to raffle off a flamethrower or an AR-15.
An AR-15, which is used to kill people. Fabulous. I mean, there's no other reason why you use something like that. It's stupid.
I'm Kim McAllister on the Nikki Medoro Show.
Thank you, Kim. Real quickly, because I saw it in the chat, Wes was mentioning it, that Disney, DeSantis is getting sued by Disney for using their font on the hats. Here's a picture of it. I pulled the picture of it because, sue his ass. There you
he's
go.
gonna lose.
Oh,
That is Disney script.
Yeah,
and they have copyrighted everything.
Oh, yes, indeed. So take his ass to the cleaners.
Yep.
Please.
He will pay dearly for that one.
Yeah, so there's the picture. Seems clear as day, in my opinion. All right. To wrap up this show, as we do always on Friday, we need to welcome our friend Tim Sika to the show to talk about all things movies. Happy Friday and Cinco de Mayo to you, my friend.
Same to you, ladies. How you doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. Okay, so you have a long list, but we have five movies we need to get through. This one that I'm starting with is Guardians of the Galaxy, and my husband loves these movies. I don't think that I've watched all of them, but what do you think?
Yeah, well, this is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Very aptly titled because it is a veritable volume. and really, when I was watching this, I'm asking myself, like, okay, first of all, this is the 32nd Marvel movie, by the way, and the final installment of the franchise, the Guardians franchise. But when I was watching this, Nikki, I'm asking myself, can these things get any more spectacular? Can they get any bigger? Can they get any more operatic? Can they get any more expansive? Well, apparently not, because this one, Volume 3, pulls out every conceivable stop, resulting. I'm almost like annoyed that I have to admit to this, but I think that this is probably the best of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Really?
All the action, the story for one was the easiest for me to follow. I mean, I could actually follow the story and make all the connections and stuff, because there's always so much stuff going on in these movies. But all the action, all the special effects, everything is there in this movie and more, with the interesting addition of some major emotional pull. And I'll explain that in a bit. But for a plot rundown, I suggest that people go to Wikipedia and read the synopsis there, because these movies are tough to summarize in a line or two. But in addition to the humor espoused by this group of superheroes, they're all pretty funny and they're wacky, especially Dave Bautista, who plays Drax. He looks like a stone guy, Drax the Destroyer. Anyway, this one gets pretty emotional because it involves, it involves basically, I don't think this isn't a spoiler, but it involves some like cruel and inhumane animal experimentation. So it can get a little darker than the previous two. But that said, this is a special effects action comic book bonanza for fans.
Nice.
It's beyond spectacular in IMAX. It's insanely immersive. I mean, you literally forget for moments that you're in a theater because you're just so caught up in it. It's quite the extravaganza.
How long is it, Tim?
It's 2.5 hours.
That's not too bad.
But anyway, it's, I can't find any fault with it. Maybe it's a bit repetitive. Maybe the action and the emotional beats can kind of, a few times you're thinking, oh, it's going to end, but then they insert another set piece, and then you think, oh, it's going to end, but then they insert another set piece. So, but overall, it's quite. Volume 3 is voluminous, and it's really it's an achievement. I mean, it's a spectacular achievement.
I love it.
Does it have the same kind of humor that the other ones did? Because that's kind of what I liked about these movies, is they're really funny.
Yeah, it did. It had a lot of funny one-liners, and most of the jokes land. I didn't think they always landed in the other two, but in this one, pretty much every single one is funny. I thought it was funny. And like I said, I was amazed I was able to follow the damn thing, because I can never follow these things. And I can never remember to tell people what they're about, because it's like, it's
a complicated story. Exactly.
Yeah. But this one is the top, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to a story that's been told before, and that of course is Peter Pan and
Yeah,
Wendy.
another one of those live action Disney remakes.
I don't know how I feel about those, but
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, I'm not a fan of them, but anyway, this one was written, adapted, and directed by this filmmaker named David Lowery, who's never made a film I didn't like. This guy's one of those filmmakers who easily moves from like personal indie cinema to big budget studio commercial cinema. He also directed for Disney the live action remake of Pete's Dragon, which was very good, and like. Yeah, I'm not a fan of these live action remakes, Nikki. Most are very paint by number, uninspired copies. But Pete's Dragon was very good, and Peter Pan and Wendy is even better. I think it by far is the best of these live action Disney remakes. They made some changes, from the original 1953 Disney animated feature to reflect 21st century sensibilities, which is a whole other topic for conversation. And it strays into politics, so we'll leave that conversation for another time. But it's a very family friendly, very intelligent, layered adaptation with some spice added to the mix. I don't know how else to describe. There's just there's some things in it where you go, oh, that's kind of cool. And it's clear that unlike those other live action Disney remakes, this one was made with a lot of thought and consideration. It's almost like they were saying, we need to do this remake, but the guy that they hired to direct it said, yeah, but we can't just copy. Let's do something that will justify the remake. And it's an excellent family film. The female characters in this movie, Wendy and Tiger Lily, they're feistier and less damsel in distressy than they were in the other Peter Pan films. And it's moving, this movie, too. It's the ending, it really, the tears welled up at the end of this movie. Jude Law plays Captain Hook. He's fantastic. He plays the part more realistically, less vaudevillian than in previous iterations.
Like
and
Dustin
the kid that plays Peter Pan, Alexander Maloney, and Ever Anderson plays Wendy. They're really, really good, these kids. I mean, I don't know where these new young actors are coming from, but it's like they're born into these kids' bodies, but they have the range that's like, my God, of like a 50-year-old. But anyway, excellent, intelligent family movie.
And you can watch that at home, right? Because that's Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, yeah. In fact, I think you can only see it on Disney Plus. So
do you have to pay extra for that if you already have Disney Plus? Is it one of these things where they make you pay extra?
Right.
No. I have Disney Plus, and it's just there. You can just watch it as part of your subscription. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Cool.
This one is abbreviated. I don't know what it stands for. RMN.
Yeah, the title of this movie sucks, but everything else about it is pretty great, and it requires a bit of patience because it's a quiet film which leisurely unfolds, but its cumulative impact is very, very powerful. It's written and directed by Cannes Film Festival darling Cristian Mungiu. He's a Romanian filmmaker whose abortion drama, I don't know if you ladies have ever seen it. It's called 4 Months, 3 Weeks, and 2 Days.
No.
It's an abortion drama. It's just brilliant. Anyway, he won the Palme d'Or for that, and he's won other Cannes prizes for his direction of other films. Anyway, RMN is a Romanian abbreviation for MRI, aka a brain scan, which along the way manages to figure into this story of prejudice and xenophobia in this tiny little Romanian village. There's lots of things going on in the story on the periphery of that plot description, but the main plot thread here is set into motion when this bread factory that's pretty much the life's blood of the economy of this little Romanian village where the movie takes place. It's run by two women, and they decide to hire 3 dark-skinned men from Sri Lanka at wages nobody else in the village will work for. And that sets the stage for this powerful story, and kind of like it's a morality tale about God. You mentioned that the news story about the guns in the church. This one is about the unwillingness of religion to deal with real human problems in a practical way, and it's about toxic masculinity, unrelated capitalism, all kinds of things. And I know that sounds I think it's much more entertaining than I may be making it sound because it's richly nuanced. It's beautifully written, And it's just a powerful movie. 6 languages are spoken in the movie: Romanian, Hungarian, German, French, I think Sri Lankan and English.
Wow.
But that when the film was shown at Cannes, the subtitles were color coded to differentiate what language was being spoken.
Good.
Yeah, but I'm making it sound much more complicated than it actually is. It's a very simple story, but one that will haunt you days and weeks afterwards after you see the movie. It's great. It's going to be on my top 10 for sure.
Oh, wow. Oh, well, that's saying something. All right. Let's move on to It Ain't Over.
It ain't over until it's over. Famously spoken by New York Yankees, New York Mets baseball player, catcher, and manager extraordinaire, Yogi Berra. There's this picture up there. Born Lorenzo Pietro Berra. And he was nicknamed Yogi because he kind of resembled one. He would like wait to go up to bat, and he would sit down on the ground and cross his legs. And one of his teammates said, "Hey, you look like a yogi."
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, and that and pretty much everything else you might want to know about Yogi Berra is poured over in this beautifully made movie. It Ain't Over. It's one of the great, in my opinion. I feel like I'm speaking in hyperbole this week, but this movie excited me. I think it's one of the best sports documentaries, biographies ever made. It's certainly one of the most entertaining, and it explores the life and the personality and the exceptional sports legacy of one of the greatest exponents of the game of basketball, Yogi Berra, who's what's that?
You said basketball, baseball.
Did I say basketball? I meant baseball.
Now that would be a twist in the story, of course.
You know what? I'm doing that a lot lately. I don't know, and I don't know.
Okay.
I'm attributing it to advanced age. Anyway, this guy's astonishing achievements are cataloged here amazingly in this movie, and they were often overshadowed by his peers and by the media, by his colorful personality. He has the series of yogi-isms, which were these things he said that when you thought about them, you go, well, that doesn't make any sense. But then if you paused a moment and listened again to what he said, you went, oh, no, that makes perfect sense. Like stuff like nobody goes there anymore. It's too crowded.
Right. Exactly.
Always go to your friends' funerals. Otherwise, they won't go to yours. I mean, it ain't over until it's over. When you come to a fork in the road, take it,
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite is you can observe a lot by watching. Anyway,
yeah, that's really fun. That's fun. That's fun.
Yeah. Anyway, I could talk for hours about this movie. As a film, it's brilliantly assembled. The editing, the archival footage, it's a lean and mean cinematic achievement. But in the end, it's also a great movie. It's a great documentary about a great American athlete and humanitarian. This guy, for the time, he was very, very popular in the 50s, and that's where he really made his mark and
Nice.
Broke all these records. But for the 50s, he was enlightened. I mean, the things he spoke for and the people he respected and a lot of black players in baseball, he was right there with them saying, I support you, blah, blah, blah. But he's also, I want to say he was underappreciated, but in many respects, not anymore, because this movie is about to hit movie screens and it will set the record straight for all time. I love this movie and everything about it. It's the cream of the crop of sports documentaries, and it's called It Ain't Over.
Nice.
And
That is awesome.
it's an early heads up. It doesn't open until May 19th, Friday. But
Oh, okay.
I want to give people a heads up and mark your calendars, because this movie is really,
Nice.
and you need a box of tissues too. That's all.
Oh, well, then I love that. I just love crying in
that's
movies.
why I
So
brought
there
it
you
ain't
go.
over.
I know. Really.
All right.
Anyway.
Well, the last one is a movie that has a name that I think we've already heard before, but it's What's Love Got to Do with It, but it's not Tina Turner.
It's not that song. No, it's a British movie. Yeah, What's Love? Is it who is it that sang it? Come on.
Tina Turner.
Tina Turner. Yeah. Anyway, this is not that. This is a movie that's perfectly fine and well-intentioned that I hate. It's so well-intentioned. I hate.
Oh, he doesn't like this one, Kim. You can totally tell in his voice.
I just can't get too enthusiastic about it. It's a rom-com. More rom, however, than com.
Okay.
Although there is a bit of humor here to be mined in the cultural tradition of arranged marriages, which are now called assisted marriages, by the way, and they still go on. in some cultures. But anyway, it's a story of a documentary filmmaker played by Lily James, who finds out that her childhood friend that lived next door all these years, played by this British actor named Shahzad Latif, he is going to submit himself to an assisted marriage to a bride from Pakistan, mostly to please his parents and relatives. And the Lily James character asks him if it would be all right for her to film the process and make a documentary out of the process. So that's the setup. And it's not hard to see where this is all going. I mean, it's pretty obvious from the start that these two childhood friends and neighbors are really always meant for each other, blah, 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 blah. But it's worth seeing, I would say, for the appealing lead actors. There they are on screen there. Emma Thompson's also in this, and she's very funny. It's also a very handsome movie. It's very culturally respectful. It's tastefully done. It just doesn't say anything we haven't seen or heard before. Yeah. I liked it, but I pretty much forgot about it when it was all over. But it is a rom-com. You know, Kim McAllister.
That's my kind of movie. Like the kind of movie that there's not really much to it. You can fold it while you fold laundry while you're watching it. You can leave
your bar is
room
really
and
low,
Kim.
Right.
If you missed anything.
No, but see, those movies serve a purpose. Yeah. You know, you don't have to be, enlightened and stimulated over every movie you see.
I need emotion. The room and I still get what's going on, you know?
Yeah. You can leave the room and maybe come back even like 15, 20 minutes
and it's
later.
Fine.
And you won't. It's like a soap opera. Yeah, it's like one of those soap operas. Yeah. So anyway, pretty much good stuff at the movies.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So let's go through the
review the one I really wanted you to, though.
Oh, which one?
Which is this one.
Yeah.
Oh God! Oh no!
You know why?
It's got my guy in it, Sam Heughan.
I know. I didn't go because there was a conflict, and I thought if I see this movie, I won't be able to. I really couldn't review Guardians of the Galaxy, and I thought.
Yeah, you made the right choice.
I think
nobody wants to watch that movie, Kim. That's.
I think
I'm gonna give it.
Yeah, I think Kim said to me, "Is it as bad as the trailer makes it out to me?" Yeah,
it is. It probably is. There's a bit of trivia for you, though.
This is my McConaughey. So I'm sad that look at how cute his knees are.
Well, if it's your McConaughey, then go see it because I would go see anything with Matthew McConaughey. But Priyanka Chopra's in it, and I just read an article. There's a scene where Joe Jonas, her husband's in it, and the reason why they put him in the film is because that scene would have had a random actor licking her face during COVID. And so she's like, screw that. I'll just have my husband do that role.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not have your husband do it anyway? Yeah.
Well, he's probably licking her face normally. So
yeah, I know. But this way it's captured on screen for all time.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. All right, Tim Sika, we appreciate you. Always have a fabulous weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay. All right. See you ladies next week.
Bye. Oh, I love it. Oh, Wes, look at you. So generous today.
Wes is going wild today on this
Friday. I love it. Please go wild. Don't let this show go away. I really like listening. It's like my connection to the West Coast, even though I moved away. Oh, Wes, we adore you. Don't you go away either. Thank you. Thank you so very much. But yeah, all the movies, Tim seemed to like all of them. So if you guys ever see anything and you're like, I disagree or I agree, I want to see that Peter Pan movie. I think that's
going to be our family movie night.
It's free at home, so I'm thinking that's probably going to be the one that I'm going to watch the most. So, okay, everybody, please stay safe. All right, it's Cinco de Mayo. Yeah. If you can walk places, walk. If you can Uber, but I would just stay off the roads. It can get crazy out there. You know what I mean? So just do what you have to. Again, thank you to everyone that was so very generous. Wes, JR, Andreas, you were very generous as well with $200 in donations. Wes as well. Wow. My God, you guys have just been so great. Lady Beatrice, thank you. And RJ, thank you guys so very much. We appreciate it. We want to continue doing the show. We want to show our mugs on YouTube. And so we'll be back. Now, next week in my second job in San Francisco, it was so funny. Somebody in the comments is like, what station? It's the news station in San Francisco that I'm working at. We're just trying to keep it all separate. So I'm only working Monday and Tuesday there. So I'll be there the rest of next week. So please tune in for that as well. And again, if you want to support the show, please do right there on your screen, theNikkiMedoroShow.com, theNikkiMedoroShow.com. Our Patreon link is there. Our PayPal link is there. Everything everything's there, right, Kim? I mean, it's a great website.
It's all there.
It's all right
you
there.
can find the link to the podcast and the old
Everything
videos
is
and
right there.
merchandise.
Exactly. So everybody be safe. Drink your margarita, your sangria, your whatever you want to drink. You can do it. Just be safe, and we'll talk again next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Nikki, you're all so awesome. Miss Brown, like a beautiful blossom. You're all so the best. I really can't rest. You're all so awesome.
Wow. Okay.